announced that its request for Thargoid materials for the Thargoid sect has been enthusiastically received by the galactic community. Hundreds of pilots supported the campaign by delivering commodities to Wheelock Ring in the Zavicha system, and by eliminating agitators in Zavicha, thereby ensuring the safety of traders contributing to the initiative. Chancellor Regan Tanner, speaking on behalf of LHS 2541 Alliance Combine, released the following statement: "We would like to thank those pilots who delivered Thargoid materials, thus contributing to the furtherance of religious freedom throughout the galaxy. At this point we would also like to address rumors that the Thargoid sect is experimenting on willing test subjects in the hopes of ascending to a higher form of life. We assert, in the strongest of terms, that this is baseless gossip. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from Wheelock Ring, in the Zavicha system." Alliance Presidential Gala. The Alioth Independence has announced plans to host a gala event in the Alioth system, to officially begin the Alliance presidential election. The event will give the as-yet unannounced presidential candidates an opportunity to meet distinguished figures from among the upper echelons of Alliance society. Jurian Ballas, chairman of Alioth Independence, issued the following statement: "Everyone's heard of President Gibson Kincaid, but the other candidates may not be so well known. This will be their chance to shine. As well as hosting key members of the Alliance Assembly, we can also confirm that Prime Minister Redmond Mahone and 3 members of the Council of Admirals will be in attendance. To make this a truly spectacular event, the Alioth Independents have placed an open order for Esuseku caviar, ceremonial Heike tea and live Ikatsi worms, promising to reward pilots who deliver these commodities to Smith Landing, in the Amber system. The organization has also placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, to ensure that those contributing material to the campaign can do so safely. The campaign begins on the 6th of September 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately." Assembly to vote on proposed changes. The Alliance Assembly has agreed to hold an internal vote on President Gibson Kincaid's proposed changes to the Constitution. Kincaid has lobbied for the role of President to be invested with executive powers, and for each presidential term to last 6 years. Prime Minister Redmond Mahone told the media. After much discussion, the Assembly has agreed to vote on President Kincaid's proposals in mid-October, at the same time as the presidential election. We will announce any amendments to the Constitution shortly afterwards. Milo Vesper, editor of the Alliance Tribune, discussed this development. President Kincaid's proposals are seen by some as a long overdue restructure of the political system. Compared to the current bureaucratic procedure, having a single person make all executive decisions has an obvious appeal. But some in the Assembly are concerned that such changes could imbue the President with emperor-like levels of authority. Prime Minister Mahone is playing down such fears, but the words constitutional crisis have already been heard in Parliament. Whatever happens, this could be the most significant election in the Alliance's history. Gnosis stranded. A scientific research vessel has been left stranded following a Thargoid attack. The Gnosis, flagship of the Canon Interstellar Research Group, recently made a hyperspace jump towards the Cone Sector, FNJ, B90 system. A short time later, the following message was received from Captain Matthias Leander of the Gnosis command crew. "We were a short way into our journey when the Gnosis was hyperdicted by a group of Thargoid vessels. The wrench back into real space caused severe internal damage.
Released. Engines engaged.
To multiple systems, including
Landing gear retracted.
the frameshift drive. There's no doubt that we would have been destroyed if not for some of the commanders traveling with us. They lured the Thargoids away while ejecting meta-alloys from their holds. The aliens were more interested in scooping up the meta-alloys than attacking us. The commanders later reported that the Thargoid vessels were the
Frameshift drive charging.
recently identified Hydra interceptors. The Gnosis is currently adrift close to the 8th planet of the UDOT's STI, D96 system. We have begun essential repairs, but there is a risk that the Thargoid
4, 3, 2, 1.
may return before we can escape the system. Scandal hits Rochester family. The famous actor Thomas Turai, husband of Jupiter Rochester, has been revealed to be having an extramarital affair with an Olympian athlete. An article in the Mars Tribune stated, "For the last 3 years, Thomas Turai has conducted a secret relationship with Reagan Lord, who has won several Olympic gold medals for the Altair system. Their romantic liaison took place without the knowledge of Turai's husband, Jupiter Rochester, or their 2 children. There has been no response from Jupiter Rochester. The Rochester family is currently in a
Frameshift drive charging.
lockdown following the cancelled wedding of Ambassador Jordan Rochester and Princess Aisling Duval. But Thomas Turai and August Lord, husband of Reagan Lord, have both announced their intention to sue the Mars Tribune for
4, 3, 2, 1.
defamation. The publication's owner, billionaire Kingsley Cordova, has confirmed that he will personally cover all legal costs in contesting both civil actions. Lana Sigrid, chief editor of the Mars Tribune, published this comment: "We have an obligation to publish the truth wherever we find it. The detailed evidence we've obtained about Thomas Turai's behavior is beyond dispute. We employ the finest journalists in the Federation, and our soaring subscription figures prove we've earned the public's trust." Starport status update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are currently closed: Abeti Platform, Ross 1051, George Lucas, Leasty, Napier Station, HIP 94863, Shaviano Dock, Happards, Sinisalo Holdings, HIP 19305, Thirsk Enterprise, Monted. Meanwhile, the following starports are on the brink of closure: Alexandria Dock, Shinab, Alexeyev Hub, HIP 36485, Extra Refinery, Azrael, Matheson Prospect, 45 Tory, Rondalm Berlab, HIP 88595, Wheelock Ring, Zavicha. Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. Independent pilots have engaged a previously unseen type of Thargoid vessel in both the Pleiades Nebula and the core systems. Admiral Aidan Tanner, Aegis's chief military liaison, confirmed that the new ship, classified as the Hydra, is a variant of the Thargoid Interceptor. Federal President Zachary Hudson has announced that Aegis Core is to relocate from Socho to the federal home system of Seoul. The move is a response to the criminal occupation of the Socho system, which led to the temporary immobilization of Aegis's Eagle Eye network. A system of orbital installations designed to determine potential Thargoid attack sites. Engineer Antar has detected.
Delacey Alpha, November Tango, this is StarCon. You require authorization for access to the docking bay.
Unusual energy signatures in the NGC 2451 A sector, the IC239
Landing authorized. Make your way to landing pad 1-2.
sector and the Sinew FENH region. While the precise nature of the signals is unclear, Rantar has encouraged independent pilots to investigate. In other news, the Colonia Council has announced that 4 engineers have established bases in the Colonia region to provide services to independent pilots. According to a statement, the Council consulted with engineers in the core systems to identify individuals who could offer similar services in Colonia. The date of Princess Aisling Duval's wedding to Federal
Continue on this vector. Approach is good.
Ambassador Jordan Rochester has passed without comment from either party. While Emperor Arissa and President Hudson are thought to be pleased with the cancellation of the wedding, the silence from Aisling Duval and Jordan Rochester leaves questions about the legitimacy of their relationship unanswered. Maddox Hurd, owner of Herculean Machines, has publicly dismissed the efforts of rival company Supertech. Mr. Hurd denounced the idea of wearable devices as ridiculous, prompting Supertech CEO Scorpio Devoro to describe him as a man of limited
2,000 meters from touchdown.
imagination. Meanwhile, Alliance President Gibson Kincaid has begun lobbying to invest the position of president with executive powers. He has also said that the incumbent should remain in office for 6 years, instead of a maximum of 2 one-year terms. Prime Minister Redmond Mahone has voiced his opposition to the proposal. Juanita Bishop,
A landing gear deployed.
leading campaigner against the Far God cult, has announced that she is running for federal Congress. Mrs. Bishop's vocal condemnation of Thargoid worship has gained her a strong following in many federal systems. She is now campaigning to be elected to Congress as an independent candidate. In related news, the Far God sect has issued a public request for Thargoid materials. It is understood that the objects will be revered as objects of worship.
Landing confirmed. You are cleared to disembark.
Not be used in any xenobiological experiments. Finally, authorities in the Battle system have confirmed that the conflict between Battlefree and the Silver Creative Network has come to an end. Both factions received support from independent combat pilots, to whom generous rewards were promised, but ultimately there could be only one victor. It is hoped that the cessation of hostilities will preface a period of peace. And those are the main stories this week. Alliance President proposes changes. Alliance President Gibson Kincaid has confirmed he will campaign for re-election in October. Addressing the media, President Kincaid also said he wanted to make significant changes to the Alliance Constitution. The role of Alliance President is largely ceremonial. I believe that should change. I have been lobbying to invest the position with executive powers, over and above the Prime Minister and the Assembly. By streamlining our bureaucracy, we can make decisions as efficiently as the other superpowers. I also believe that each presidential incumbent should remain in office for 6 years, instead of a maximum of 2. That will allow time to renegotiate diplomatic relations.
Ship is released. Be wary of traffic on your way out.
Retracted.
Relationships and correct past mistakes. Kincaid was the governor of the Zayance system before assuming the presidency in 3303. He has repeatedly claimed that the alliance is failing to fulfill its true potential. Prime Minister Redmond Mahone responded, "Our constitution has served us well for decades and I see no reason to amend it. Its system of checks and balances exists to prevent any individual from becoming too powerful and destabilizing the alliance. The other presidential candidates will be announced within the next 2 weeks." Computer designers' rivalry escalates. Maddox Hurd, owner of Herculean Machines,
Frameshift drive charging.
has publicly dismissed the efforts of rival company Supertech. Both companies are currently developing new computer designs. Mr. Hurd referred directly to Supertech's forthcoming product, the
4, 3, 2, 1.
While addressing the media, there's a reason Herculean has never explored the concept of wearable devices. It's a ridiculous idea. I bet $1 million credits that those fragile gizmos will break, or their holograms will start glitching, the moment you turn them on. If you want a reliable piece of tech, you need the Children. Believe me, our device will keep on working whatever you throw at it, and even if you throw it. When invited to comment, Supertech CEO Devora responded, "It's regrettable that those with a clear vision of the future are often denigrated by individuals of limited imagination. We offer an elegant and revolutionary approach to personal computing, not just a rubber brick with a screen. I'm sure customers will make the intelligent choice. Prototypes for both the Talk and the Jura Drive will be unveiled at the Rackham Ultratech Expo on Wednesday the 3rd of October. Far God Campaign. The Thargoid worshipping sect that reveres an entity known as the Far God, has issued a request for Thargoid materials. Chancellor Regan Tanner, speaking on behalf of LHS 2541 Alliance Combine, which is supporting the campaign, released the following statement. To maintain their privacy and avoid further persecution, members of the Far God sect have approached us to facilitate the collection of
Frameshift drive charging.
materials. They have made it explicit that these materials will be revered as objects of worship, and will not be used as part of any xenobiological experiments. In the interests of religious freedom, we have
4, 3, 2,
decided to fulfill their request. In support of this campaign, LHS 2541 Alliance Combine has placed an open order for various Thargoid materials, and has promised to reward pilots who deliver these goods to Wheelock Ring and the Zavicha system. The organization has also placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, to ensure that those delivering commodities to Wheelock Ring can do so safely. The campaign begins on the 30th of August 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Conflict in Betel Lens. Authorities in the Betel system have confirmed that the conflict between the Silver Creative Network and Betel Free has come to an end. Both factions received support from independent combat pilots, to whom generous rewards were promised, but ultimately there could be only one victor. General Hollis of Betel Security had this to say: now this feud has been resolved, we will hopefully see a period of prolonged peace in the system. Pilots who participated in the conflict can now collect their rewards from Ampapolis in the Betel system. Juanita Bishop runs for Congress. Juanita Bishop, a leading campaigner against the Far God cult, has announced that she is running for federal Congress. Mrs. Bishop's vocal condemnation of Thargoid worship has gained her a strong following in many federal systems. She is now campaigning to be elected to Congress as an independent candidate. At a rally protesting against the Far God sect, Mrs. Bishop addressed the crowd. I may lack political experience, but I care about protecting decent families from alien-loving deviants. If you elect me to Congress, I will make sure our leaders rid us of the Thargoid spies undermining our great federation. Dr. Jamila Griffin, of the Galactic Interfaith Commune, made this response. Juanita Bishop is building her power base on the fear and paranoia that she herself has invoked. As has happened before, an innocent religion is being used as a scapegoat for society's ills. We should be more concerned about the fact that Far God chapters are continuing to vanish without trace. If they are under threat, it is our duty to offer protection. These people are not aliens but citizens with legal rights, despite Bishop's efforts to dehumanize them. Aegis Corps relocates to Seoul. In May, a criminal organization known as the Socho Gold...
DeLacy, Alpha, November, Tango. Federal flight control is now online. Follow sanctioned docking procedures within port confines. A warning, Commander. Weapon fire restrictions are in place here. Approved for access. You are go for approach to pad 1-6.
Cool. Since then the system has descended further into chaos, culminating in the loss of services at Dantec Enterprise due to Thargoid sensor-related interference. This in turn led to the temporary immobilization of Aegis's Eagle Eye network, a system of orbital installations designed to determine potential Thargoid attack sites. In the wake of this calamity, Federal President Zachary Hudson has announced that Aegis Corps is to relocate from Socho to the Federal Home System of Seoul. In a statement broadcast directly from the White House on Mars, Hudson said, "Recent events in Socho have taught us that no matter the scale of the Thargoid threat, there will always be those more interested in fighting their fellow man than engaging the enemy. Let me be clear, we are at war. The weakening of our defenses cannot be tolerated. I have therefore agreed that Aegis Corps will relocate to the Sol system, where it can be properly protected. Aegis has been charged with defending humanity, and any attempt..."
You're on course for landing, Commander. immediately.
And to mine it is nothing less than an act of treason. New Argoid interceptor encountered. Independent pilots have reported engaging a previously unseen type
Landing gear deployed.
Argoid vessel. The Pilots Federation confirmed that several of its members have encountered the ship in both the Pleiades Nebula and the core systems. Commander Jing Mendes gave this account. My wingmate and I were both hyperdicted while traveling through the Pleiades. We assumed that together we could handle a single Argoid ship, but this one really soaked up our firepower. I managed to get away, but Leonie didn't make it. Releases a larger swarm of Argon drones. In response to this development, the Pilots Federation has sealed off the Cone Sector FNJ B90 system, which is believed to contain high concentrations of Hydro interceptors. Despite this, it is understood that the Gnosis, flagship of the Cannon Interstellar Research Group, will attempt to complete its scheduled jump into the now permit-locked system. The silence of Aisling Duval. The date of Princess Aisling Duval's wedding to Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester has passed without comment from either party. Entertainment journalist Solomon Helios discussed the situation. Public reaction to the cancelled wedding has ranged from outrage to delight. Jasmina Halsey expressed regret at a lost opportunity for long-term peace, while Senator Zemina Torval called it the mercy killing of a catastrophically bad idea. With no word from the Imperial Palace or the White House, it's easy to imagine both Emperor Marissa and President Hudson breathing sighs of relief. But the silence from Aisling Duval and Jordan Rochester rings loudest. What might they be feeling? Was their relationship terminated against their wishes? Did it ever really exist? Naturally, I invited the princess to tell her story, but her previous openness is apparently a thing of the past. The Rochester family is also shying away from the media. Yael Torrido, whose alleged affair with Aisling apparently derailed the marriage, has vanished from public sight. Was this a tragic love triangle, or just a political chess game? We may never know. But what's certain is that before long, Aisling Duval will put these failures behind her and be back in the spotlight where she belongs. Unusual energy signatures detected. 3 recently detected energy signatures have been confirmed to be of a similar nature. The engineer Amtar made a statement to the media. As part of my research, I regularly review data from surveillance satellites and ships that have picked up atypical signals. Although most turn out to be of no consequence, on this occasion I have identified 3 energy signatures that I believe warrant further investigation. The signals originate from the NGC 2451A sector, the IC 2391 sector, and the Sinew FENH region. I have no further data, and at this time the signature's meaning remains a mystery. I encourage any independent pilots operating in these regions to investigate. I do of course apologize if this turns out to be a pointless exercise, but in the pursuit of scientific knowledge, even the smallest opportunity must be explored. Engineers established in Colonia. The Colonia Council has announced that 4 engineers have established bases in the Colonia region to provide services to independent pilots. Councillor Giselle Kingspear gave a statement to the media. The council believes it has a duty to support those who contribute so much to the region's stability. That's why we have consulted with engineers in the core systems to identify individuals who could offer similar services here in Colonia. Consequently, we now have 4 engineers at planetary bases in the region. Mel Brandon is based in Luctane, and specializes in laser-based armaments, shields, engines and frame shift drives. Etienne Dawn in the Lost system, once lead engineer for Kraken Shield Specialists, is an expert on sensors, scanners and high-energy weaponry, among other things. Petra Ulmanova is in the Asurus system, and works with ship armor, countermeasures and explosive weapons, and Marsha Hicks, in the Tier system, offers upgrades in ballistic weaponry, fuel scoops, refineries and limpids. These engineers represent an important stage in Colonia's continued growth. The Council hopes that pilots operating in the region will find them beneficial. Starport Status Update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are currently closed: Crown Plant, Mudra Makasi; Crown Terminal, LHS 355; Fort Lawrence, Exioc; Foxbase, Paya; Fraknoi Holdings, Paya; Gautier de Varens Folly, HIP 13269; Grimwood Ring, HIP 94863; Hague Port, OC; Hengdok, Samantundi; Lichtenberg Dock, 3 Corvi; McLeod Hub, Nornan; McAllister Port, HR 6680; Parmet Anno Terminal, Nuturi; Porgus Horizons, G25034; Pre-Research Base, HIP 17225; Ross Orbital, Radomir; Sedan Gateway, Monted.
Detach confirmed. Observe queuing system when exiting the station.
Tan
Landing gear retracted.
Sokond. Wang Platform, Paya. The following starports continue to experience technical issues: Weber Dock, Mean; Teshaviano Dock, Haplets; Thirsk Enterprise, Montud. Meanwhile, the following starports are on the brink of closure: George Lucas, Leasty; Somerset Station, Icarene; Napier Station, HIP 94863; Ready Gateway, Korovi;
Frameshift drive charging.
Abeti Platform, Ross 1051. Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. The wedding of Princess Aisling Duval and Ambassador Jordan Rochester.
4, 3, 2,
Been cancelled. The announcement follows anti-slavery campaigner Jan Toredo's confession that he and Aisling Duval were romantically involved for several months. Meanwhile, Lakon Spaceways has announced that a new ship, the Alliance Crusader, will go on general sale on Tuesday the 28th of August. The ship, which is based on the Alliance Chieftain, boasts 3 internal military compartments and a fighter bay. Rival technology companies Supertech and Herculean Machines have released press statements promoting new personal computer designs. Both companies have also confirmed they will be at the Rackham Ultratech Expo on
frameshift drive charging.
Wednesday the 3rd of October, where they will reveal fully functional prototypes of their new devices. In other news, the Federal Intelligence Agency has revealed that members of the Fargod cult are disappearing in large numbers.
4, 3, 2,
While the FIA has speculated that adherents are abandoning the cult and attempting to return to normal life, there have been no reports of former Fargod worshippers returning to their friends and families. An expose published by the Mars Tribune has revealed that federal Congressman Morgan Unwin has close ties to a criminal organization. Information uncovered by the Tribune proves that Unwin used his influence to traffic drugs for the Red Family Cartel in order to keep his own addiction secret. Recent reports from the Betel system indicate that an ongoing feud between the Silver Creative Network and Betel
frameshift drive charging.
has escalated into violence. With system security forces stretched thin, both organizations are seizing the opportunity to settle calls for support. Finally, the Colonial
4, 3, 2,
Council has announced that its campaign to build a new hydroponics facility has been warmly received by the galactic community. Large quantities of material were delivered to Templar Barracks over the past week, allowing the initiative to move to the construction phase. And those are the main stories this week.
incoming mission critical message.
This is Alliance Crusader. Lakon Spaceways has announced that a new ship, the Alliance Crusader, will soon be available for purchase. Mira Kalanag, head of military projects at Lakon, gave some details to the media. The Alliance Crusader is mechanically similar to the Alliance Chieftain, with one key distinction. Our engineers have removed some internal hardware to accommodate a fighter bay. Inevitably, this means the Crusader is marginally slower and less maneuverable than its siblings, but this is compensated by its ability to ferry fighters into a conflict zone. The Crusader's offensive capabilities are enhanced with 3 internal military compartments. We are confident that the ship will be able to hold its own in any combat situation, especially against the Thargoids. The Alliance Crusader will go on general sale on Tuesday the 28th of August. Computer firms promote new designs. Rival technology companies Supertech and Herculean Machines have released press statements promoting new personal computer designs. Scorpio Devoro, CEO of Supertech, told the media about his company's forthcoming product. The talk employs cutting-edge holographic technology, surrounding you in a personalized world. Its hollow interfaces respond to subtle gestures and its flexible crystalline structure makes it as elegant as jewelry. By comparison, competitors' devices are as rudimentary as pen and paper. Maddox Hurd, owner of Herculean Machines, also made a statement. Fancy holograms might look pretty, but what matters is being able to withstand whatever life throws at you. The Jura Drive is designed for those who work hard and expect their tools to stand up to the challenge. However tough you think you are, the Jura Drive is tougher. Both companies have confirmed that they will be at the Rackham Ultratech Expo on Wednesday the 3rd of October. The technology trade show, sponsored by Rackham Capital Investments, focuses on the personal device market. Both companies aim to have fully functional prototypes ready for the expo. Order restored in Kamichi. Kamichi Incorporated has announced that its campaign to clear the Kamichi system of felons has been a success. Hundreds of pilots responded to the appeal, taking to their ships to eliminate the criminals operating in the system. Authorities in Kamichi have extended their gratitude to those who participated in the operation. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their...
DeLacy, Alpha November Tango. Federal flight control is now online. Follow sanctioned docking procedures within port confines.
Boards from Gainer.
Approved for access. You are go for approach to pad 4-3.
Port in the Kamichi system. The battle for Betel. Recent reports from the Betel system indicate that an ongoing feud between the Silver Creative Network and the Betel Free has escalated into violence. General Hollis of Betel Security issued the following statement. After a lengthy period of peace, these factions are now determined to wipe one another out. As much as we want to subdue this conflict ourselves, we simply do not have the ships to stage an effective intervention. With system security forces stretched thin, both organizations are seizing the opportunity to settle old grudges, and have issued calls for support. Pilots who participate in the conflict will be generously rewarded by their chosen faction. The two factions have set out week-long operations to take control of the system.
You're on course for landing, Commander. Take her in gently.
Which will begin on
Scan detected.
23rd August 3304. Colonia Hydroponics Initiative concludes. The Colonia Council has announced that its campaign to build a new hydroponics facility has been warmly received by the galactic community. Large quantities of material were delivered to Templar Barracks over the past week, allowing the initiative to move to the construction phase.
Landing gear deployed.
The Council's scientific advisor, Professor Diana Van Cleef, gave the following statement. Not only will this new hydroponics facility provide biofoods and super grains for the populace of Colonia, it will also contain a dedicated research laboratory for a science team to develop new biotech crops. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their awards from Templar Barracks in the Randnid system.
Landing operation complete. You may disembark when ready. Welcome to the station, Commander.
Congressman's criminal ties exposed. An exclusive expose published by the Mars Tribune has revealed that a member of federal Congress has close ties to a criminal organization. The extensive feature began with this summary. Congressman Morgan Unwin has been in debt to the notorious Red Family Cartel for nearly a decade. Information uncovered by our reporters proves that he has unwon his influence to traffic enormous quantities of the cartel's drugs in order to keep his own addiction secret. Following publication of the feature, Mr. Unwin was arrested by the Federal Security Service, and now faces expulsion from Congress. An investigation into Red Family's narcotics operation in Olympus Village is also underway. A spokesperson for Congress made this statement. We are indebted to the Mars Tribune for uncovering a criminal conspiracy that might otherwise have continued undetected. This highlights the value of investigative journalism to the Federation. The Tribune's billionaire owner, Kingsley Cordova, has been invited to a special event by Congress to express its gratitude. As well as the Mars Tribune, his conglomerate Cordova Group runs many small companies in the Sol system. Far God cultists vanishing. The Federal Intelligence Agency has revealed that members of the Far God cult are disappearing in large numbers. Senior agent Micah Whitefield told the media, "On several occasions, our agents have entered hive chapels only to discover them completely empty." Intelligence from Independent Systems describes how entire chapters of the sect have disappeared overnight. We suspect that adherents are starting to abandon the cult and attempting to return to normal life. We urge everyone to report such individuals to the FIA, so we can investigate potential connection to the Thargoids. Dr. Jamila Griffin, of the Galactic Interfaith Commune commented, "Although it would be an understandable reaction to the FIA's relentless persecution, there are no reports of former Far God worshippers returning to their friends and families. These abrupt disappearances remain a mystery." Anti-cult campaigner Juanita Bishop also made a statement. "It's obvious to me that these spies are returning to their Thargoid masters, to inform them of what they've learned. Arresting them isn't enough, we need a more permanent solution for these traitors." Aisling Duval wedding cancelled. Federal news channels have announced that the wedding of Princess Aisling Duval and Ambassador Jordan Rochester has been cancelled. The statement came from Congress member Isolde Rochester. "The planned wedding between my son Jordan Rochester and Her Imperial Highness will no longer take place. We have contacted everyone involved with the event and closed down all related projects." The announcement follows anti-slavery campaigner Yal Torrido's confession that he and Aisling Duval were romantically involved for several months. Torrido also claimed that the planned marriage was purely a political matter. The cancellation was confirmed by the Imperial Palace on Emerald, but there has been no direct response from Princess Duval or Ambassador Rochester. Political journalist Cassia Carvalho of the Imperial Herald commented, "The fact that this news comes from Isolde Rochester gives weight to Yal Torrido's claims. If the marriage was a political scheme, that may explain why the Rochester family matriarch is the one to call it off, no longer trusting Princess Duval to play her part. Or perhaps this is simply the reaction of a mother, enraged at her future daughter-in-law's infidelity. Had the marriage taken place, would it have initiated an era of federal imperial cooperation, or triggered a new wave of conflict? It seems we will never know." Starport status update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are currently closed: Xiang Port, Garo Ki Aku, Surrey Gateway, Vesuvit, Scott Station, HIP 93685, Salgari Enterprise, Mawa, Wakata Port, Wandiara, Bruce Enterprise, Kabiku, Kubasov Station, HIP 90112, McDonald Platform, Hamlet's Harmony, Thirsk Enterprise, Monted. The following starports continue to experience technical issues: Weber Dock, Mean. Meanwhile, the following starports are on the brink of closure: Crown Plant, Mudra Makasi, Crown Terminal, LHS 355, Evans Platform, HIP 1830.
Docking lamps are tracking. Regulate speed until outside the exclusion zone.
5. Fort Lawrence, XEOC, Foxbase, Paya, Fraknoi Holdings, Paya, Gautier de Varens Folly, HIP 13269, Greenwood Ring, HIP 94863, Hague Port, OC, Head Dock, Samantudi, Harrington Gateway, 45 Torrey, Lake Station, Lathe, Lichtenberg Dock, 3 Corvi. McLeod Hub, Nornan. McAllister Port, HR 6680.
Frameshift drive charging.
Rilla Terminal, XEOC. Parmit Anno Terminal, New Turi. Porges Horizons, G25034. Pre-res...
4, 3, 2, 1.
Gurge Base, HIP 17225. Ross Orbital, Radomir. Sedan Gateway, Monted. Tanner Ring, Circond. Wine Platform, Paya. Week in Review. Here are this week's latest stories. Campaigner Jan Torido has disclosed that he and Princess Aisling Duval have been conducting a secret romantic relationship, despite her betrothal to Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester. Torido claims that the princess accepted Rochester's proposal only as a means
Frameshift drive charging.
to advance her political plans. Princess Duval has refuted Torido's statement. Dr. Alfred Ulyanov, a leading exotheologian and an authority on the Far God cult, has been apprehended as a
4, 3, 2, 1.
active Argoid sympathizer. The Federal Intelligence Agency said that Dr. Ulyanov's involvement with the Far God cult made him a valid person of interest. Meanwhile, the Federal Times has highlighted 2 new personal computer designs currently in development, the Torque from Supertech, and the Duradrive from Herculean Machines. Both companies plan to reveal prototypes of their designs at a technology expo in October. A mining robot that went out of control in the Beta Hydri system has been located and disabled. MacArthur Mining Limited,
Frameshift drive charging.
which manufactures the robot, said that an inspection of the robot's remains confirmed suspicions that it had been placed in the incorrect standby mode, verifying that the malfunction was the result of human error.
4, 3, 2, 1.
In other news, billionaire Zachary Rackham has been confirmed as the winner of a lottery prize of 1 billion credits. Rackham was quick to announce that he would donate his winnings to charity, although the Federal Times pointed out that the win coincided with a bill for unpaid taxes recently submitted to Rackham's company. Finally, the spokesperson for Aegis
Incoming mission critical message.
has announced that its rescue operation in the Pleiades has been enthusiastically assisted by the galactic community. Hundreds of pilots supported the operation by delivering stranded survivors and commodities to Don Arzok. And those are the main stories this week. Pleiades rescue operation concludes. A spokesperson for the Aegis Research has announced that its rescue operation in the Pleiades has been enthusiastically assisted by the galactic community. Hundreds of pilots supported the operation by delivering stranded survivors and commodities to Don Arzok in the Pleiades Sector IRW, D155 system. Superintendent Marla Paulson of Aegis Research released the following statement. The number of rescued survivors we have received is truly fantastic. We have also received enough food stocks to ensure that they're well taken care of, before moving them to dedicated refugee centers. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from Don Arzok in the Pleiades Sector IRW, D155 system. Ulyanov arrested. Dr. Alfred Ulyanov, a leading exotheologian and an authority on the Far God cult, has been apprehended as a suspected Argoid sympathizer. The arrest took place at Dr. Ulyanov's home in the Rana system, where he and his family were taken into custody by the Federal Intelligence Agency. Research materials and computer systems were also removed from the property, according to witnesses. Professor Siobhan Vogel, of the Interstellar Association of Universities, registered a formal complaint. For Dr. Ulyanov's academic studies to be viewed as evidence that he is some kind of Thargoid agent is utterly ridiculous. This violation of his rights sets a dangerous precedent. Federal Intelligence Agency Senior Agent Micah Whitefield gave the following statement. When it comes to possible Thargoid allies, we cannot afford to overlook anything. Dr. Ulyanov's involvement with the Far God cult makes him a valid person of interest. We are also investigating the Galactic Interfaith Commune, the Spiritual Freedom Movement and other organizations that have supported Thargoid worshippers. Juanita Bishop, whose campaign against the Far God sect has continued to attract popular support, commented. This proves that there are Thargoid collaborators among us, in all walks of life. We must root them out before they start murdering innocent people. Aisling Duval's secret relationship revealed. Anti-slavery campaigner Jan Torido has disclosed that he and Princess Aisling Duval have been conducting a secret romantic relationship, despite her betrothal to Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester. Entertainment journalist Solomon Helios gave full details on his program. Following Jan Torido's resignation from Unchained, I offered to tell his side of the story. Although he declined a formal interview, he did disclose that he could no longer bear working alongside Princess Duval. He admitted that he has been romantically involved with the princess since their first meeting several months ago. It seems they both felt it wise to keep the relationship a secret. According to Torido, the princess claimed not to have any romantic feelings for Ambassador Rochester, and insisted that the marriage was merely a means to... Initially Torido accepted this, but engagement the princess became unreachable. Torido says that his and Aisling's love has been sidelined by her political schemes. Quite simply, he feels betrayed. Princess Aisling Duval gave this response to the media. I am shocked that my good friend Solomon could believe such lies. It's obvious that Mr. Torido is being used by those who want to rekindle the hostility between the Empire and the Federation. My relationship with Jordan Rochester is entirely genuine. Colonia Hydroponics Initiative. Authorities in Colonia have decided to build a state-of-the-art hydroponics facility, due to research projecting a possible food shortage in the region. Professor Diana Van Cleef, a scientific advisor to the Colonia Council, gave the following statement. The growing populace of Colonia means we need to provide a reliable and sustainable source of food for the region. We aim to address this by building a new hydroponics facility that will serve Colonia for generations to come. The campaign is being run by Colonia Research Division, one of Colonia's partner organizations, which has asked pilots to deliver the requested mined resources to Templar Barracks in the Randnid system. The campaign begins on the 16th of August 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Restoring order in Kamichi. Authorities in the Kamichi system have reported a distressing rise in the number of criminals operating in the area. Reports indicate that these felons are attacking pilots traveling in the system, disrupting trade and generally causing mayhem. To counter this threat, Kamichi Incorporated has placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, and has promised to reward pilots who deliver bounty vouchers to game and port. The campaign begins on 16th of August 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Eagle Eye installations offline. Admiral Aidan Tanner has confirmed reports that Aegis's Eagle Eye installations are offline. The development is the result of Thargoid sensor-related interference at Dantuk Enterprise, home of Aegis Core, which has neutralized Aegis's ability to transmit data to the orbital installations. The Eagle Eye installations play a vital role in countering Thargoid aggression by monitoring energy level fluctuations at Thargoid surface sites. The data allows pilots to determine which systems the Thargoids intend to attack. Admiral Tanner elaborated on the issue in a brief statement. With Dantuk Enterprise experiencing widespread technical issues, it's impossible for us to communicate with the Eagle Eye installations. And unless the installations are fed a continuous stream of data, they are essentially useless. The Eagle Eye installations are one of the most effective weapons we have in our war against the Thargoids, and we would be grateful to any pilots who could deliver meta-alloys to Dantuk Enterprise, to help us get the starport back online. Billionaire wins lottery. Renowned billionaire Zachary Rackham, owner of Rackham Capital Investments, has been confirmed as the winner of a lottery prize of 1 billion credits. Tori Theopolis, a spokesperson for the Federal Grand Lottery, announced. Our annual galactic jackpot has been claimed and the winning ticket verified. Our congratulations to Mr. Rackham. We hope he enjoys his billion credit prize. Zachary Rackham, known in some circles as Calico Zach, told the media.
Docking request granted.
To be honest, this caught me by surprise. I only buy lottery tickets out of habit. A holdover from the days when I used to rattle around space in a rusty old Sidewinder. Naturally, I'll be donating this windfall to various charitable programs. The Federal Times published this observation from financial journalist Brianna Blanco. It's highly suspicious that a billionaire should play the lottery, and even more suspicious that he should win it. I'm sure that Calico's ex-accountants will indeed put this money to good use, paying the gargantuan bill for unpaid taxes recently submitted to his company. Once a pirate, always a pirate. New computer designs announced. Federal Times journalist Harlan Azri has highlighted 2 new personal computer designs currently in development. For a long time, the Sirius and Achilles corporations have been the main suppliers of personal computing devices, but 2 smaller companies
Engines disengaged.
are aiming to challenge that monopoly. The first company, Supertech, is working on a revolutionary design called the Torque, a flexible ring that coils around the user's wrist or neck. It uses high-resolution holographic projectors to surround the user with illuminated displays and motion-sensitive interfaces. The second company,
Incoming message.
Herculean Machines, has taken a more down-to-earth approach. The DuraDrive is a chunky, durable tablet designed to withstand rough handling. Herculean has promised a range of peripherals, allowing users to custom-build their own version of the device. Both companies plan to reveal prototypes of their designs at a technology expo in October. But can the market support 2 rival products? We'll no doubt be hearing more about the Torque and DuraDrive in the near future. Rogue robot located. A mining robot that went out of control on Homeland in the Beta Hydri system has been located and disabled. The MacArthur Mining Limited DG-090 machine disappeared after self-activating and tunneling underground. It remained lost for several days before being discovered over 100 kilometers from where it malfunctioned. Security Chief Sarah Kulkarni gave this report. Our sensor drones detected the robot as it surfaced in the Blue Peaks mountain range. We believe it was obeying its primary programming by homing in on mineral ores. Federal Navy gunships were immediately dispatched. Once located, the robot was partially destroyed from the air before it could cause any further damage. Director Shen Emerson, of MacArthur Mining Limited commented. An inspection of the robot's remains confirmed our suspicion that it had been placed in the incorrect standby mode. Its comms array was then disrupted by local signals, activating a preset mining program. The DG-090 series is very reliable, and this unfortunate incident should not be perceived as a blemish on its excellent reputation. Starport status update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are currently closed: Kaidan Base, Tsheka; Tshaviano Dock, Hapards; Dantek Enterprise, Sochi;